College tutorial. My name is Jocelyn Christensen. I'm the teacher librarian at Stella Maris. And what I'm doing with you today is I'm going to take you through the Information Centre reading page on our library website. To start off with, we always begin with the portal. No need to log in. You don't need to log in at all, but you can click on the Information Centre. As you know, libraries, or as we like to call this library, the Information Centre, is more than bricks and mortar and books on shelves. Now we are accessing the world at large. This takes you straight away by pressing the button to the home page. This is our lovely library there before. You can see here, there is my name, my phone number, and the mission is to read, research and create on behalf of our students. This is the page that we're going to be focusing on, the reading page. You can see here we've got three main choices. I'm actually going to start off with the Sydney Morning Herald. Now, in this time of what they call fake news, a lot of our students are receiving quite a bit of the information via Instagram, via Facebook. Now, some of that information is very accurate, but quite a bit of it can be questionable. So we're trying to have them critically analyse news at work, and they can, as an example of reliable as as possibly can be, I would say, Sydney Morning Herald, and without major bias, because they mostly provide both sides of the story, is the Sydney Morning Herald. The other reason we get the Sydney Morning Herald is because it focuses on New South Wales, whereas if you go online for news, it tends to be Australia-wide. This has also got Australia information as well, and worldwide. This has New South Wales, Australia, and world. All right, so to access it, you just click on it. Now, it's only available while they're at school. They won't be able to look at it at home. Just so that you're aware that they have this facility available to them. So if they have some homework that they've got to do in the next couple of weeks, which requires them to go and get a newspaper article, and they say to you, Mum, I need you to buy a newspaper, you can say, well, actually, I do know that you have newspapers available to you at school, and I know it's available on the portal. Okay. So that's the newspaper. It often takes you out of the portal, the website, so we might just go back in again. And we're going to look at the school catalogue. The school catalogue catalogues any electronic books that have been uploaded by us into the library, plus it also catalogues and lets students know if we have certain books available. Now, I'm not going to log in. You don't need to necessarily log in unless you want the extra bibliographical information. But for parents at home, if they wanted to have a look, I'll just show you. You can access Stella Maris College catalogue. You can also see there are other websites there on the front page. And I'm going to show you one of our favourite books. It's called Life on the Refrigerator Door. And I'm going to put in the author because it's quicker to type. And her name is Alice Kuipers. So I'm going to Kuipers. The reason the students like this so much is it's about a mother and a daughter who write using post-it notes, and they're both on shift work. So it has mature themes, not overly mature, but mature themes so that someone in Year 7 or 8 who finds reading books laborious experience, they can read Life in a Refrigerator Door, and you can see here how it's held. And what I also like about it is that, okay, so it doesn't have a huge amount of words, but the words that are written are highly necessary to convey the meaning of the story. All right, so you can see here Life in the Refrigerator Door. And you can see there are 14 copies of 23 titles. To show you projects that we have online, past student projects, often the best student projects we have available for current students to browse and have an understanding of the quality that is required. in Extension History, Extension English. For example, Wandering Woman, an investigation into the psychological monstrous feminine. So that was Extension English. I can click on there and you can see here there's a reflection statement of the Wandering Woman and the actual major work of the Wandering Woman. We've been given permission to upload all of these major works and the students' names have been removed. So if you're interested to see, if you've got a daughter in Year 7, this particular student here, she participated in everything. She participated in student success. She participated in writers group. She took part in independent research. So she had quite a journey to that point. Okay, so I will get rid of these. I might just go back and show you the others that are available, HSC projects. So they do have, once you click on them, it takes you to their website, to the ebook that's available. We've also got Extension History. This is for CAFS, Community and Family Services projects. This one here is a PIP in 2014. Some of them are a bit older, some of them are newer. Here we have, does lack of sleep have an impact on individuals' overall well-being? Okay, so that's the library catalogue. So we've had a look at the library catalogue, Sydney Morning Herald. Now I'm going to show you Wheelers. Now your student can click on here and it will ask her to sign in, and she puts her first name _ surname, library 1. So I click on that and it will take me to where I sign in. Now I think I might just take you to, you can see my account here. Once I've signed in, they jump straight to my account. And this is the front page. I want to show you my shelf. I'm just going to actually show you my shelf. Now, I have one downloaded. I can read this book online. So this ebooks is useful for when you're overseas, you want them to download a couple of books. It's useful for browsing. If they want a specific book, they might be lucky, but it's really better as a browsing book. Oh, that looks interesting, rather than a specific book, because not all publicists are online yet. There's a book, Everything, which I'm desperate to buy because there's a movie coming out. That's not available yet as an ebook. But you can see here, I'm just going to show you, this is the Nest. And I'm going to show you the settings. This is where it's particularly good for students who maybe have eye problem or they're dyslexic. You can change the font, you can change the font size, it can also be in theme. And for dyslexia, you can apply dyslexia settings just by clicking. I think I've already got it on dyslexia settings actually, because I've shown this to a few students at school. Go back to Stella Maris College. There's also on the phones, there is an app that you can download, a Wheeler app, by searching on their phone, and that they can actually download the books onto their phones. This is an area that I also like because it groups the information together. Fiction, special features. I know The Lord of the Flies is often taught at many schools, so I'm sure they'd have quite a few copies. It's also taught here. There are 4 available and 8 on loan. And recommended titles, if you like Lord of the Flies, you've got these others here, Gone, Divergent, Paper Towns, Giver. I don't think they always match perfectly, but you know, it's nice to have a suggestion so that they can click on those. All right, back to the reading information. So that's your Wheelers ebook. Don't forget the app that the students can download onto their phones. So there's some small tutorials. We also have Pinterest, which is changing weekly. Now, the only warning I would have is when you click on the Pinterest login, for the younger girls, they're only really allowed to join on from the age of 14. And I've noticed when I click on the Pinterest login, there are some ads on there that I don't really think are quite appropriate. So I would suggest as a parent that you log in first and go and find the Stella Maris Pinterest website. Now, these are the ads that I currently have up at the moment, but if they're not always as sweet as these. So that's why I'm suggesting that you log in and you can write in Information Centre. So once you've logged in and you've opened up your own Pinterest, you have to own your own Pinterest, this takes you to the Stella Maris Information Centre. Now, actually, I'll scroll up a bit. These are the new book for teens. These are mature books, non-fiction books. I think we've got about 64 boards, Asian themes, animals, autobiographies, beach, because that's obviously popular here, crime, classics junior, classics senior. But I'll just take you down here and for the Year 7 change. Now, the English department, they focus on a novel and they look at themes in relation to that novel where they have to explore that area of study. Now, Year 7 has changed. Year 8 is overcoming adversity. Year 9 is journey. This makes a student ready for when they are looking at discovery in Year 12. And if they're wanting to find a second text to compare the book that they're studying within English, then we've got quite a few suggestions from Year 7. Quite varied as well. You can see how varied they are. Most of these have been suggested by Year 7. So that's Pinterest. As I said, I do give you a warning. Reading suggestions online. These are 2 good websites. Plus, Read for Your House competition. Now, there's no reason for you to access this at this stage, but I'll just show you what it is. This is one of their Moodle courses, which is separate to the website. These Moodle courses are used by teachers where students can upload exams and essays and they can have marked online. But this particular Moodle uses the essay component and the students will be uploading their books for Read for Your House. And that means that every book that they read, they receive a point for their house. So a house might win for swimming or running, but another house might pull their team over the line by the books that they're reading. So they will submit book 1, just click in here, attempt quiz now, that's all it is, and then I would just write, please record the title and author of books provided, please. There is an honour system, but I find if I go in and check the Moodle and I find that there's so many books by one person, I probably will have a chat with them and I can find out, because I've read most of the books here anyway, you know, what sort of reader they are. But we never have any problems. Like, I don't think in any time that I've been here that I've ever had that issue at all. We've got some great readers at Stella Maris. We're very lucky in that way. And to finish off, I wanted to show you something. We also have hard copies, all right? So this is a reading box suggestion for any of our students, that way. And what they do is, if they see a book that or hear about a book that they really like, I encourage them to come in and fill out one of these sheets. And this sheet tells them, they write down their name, the date, the book requested, and the student will be emailed when it's been ordered, and the student will be emailed when it arrives. All right. So, because I really, really depend on the students for building up a successful collection that all students will enjoy, because the best suggestions you have are often from students. Thank you so much for listening to this reading tutorial. Looking forward to catching up with you again. The next tutorial that we will be looking at is library catalogues. And as I said, libraries are no longer a place where you find all your information here at school. We search far and wide for our information. So I will catch up soon. Thank you for participating.